Well, Steve 89. Well, I've been doing a bit of a serial killer movie marathon, going through some of the films based on the crime sprees of people like John Wayne Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer, and who's the other one? Oh, Ed Gein. I've just been watching those guys because they're the big sort of legendary, iconic sort of serial killers that sort of get the most sort of attention. And yeah, I watched To Catch a Killer, and I did a separate review for that. And now there were two other John Wayne Gacy films that were interesting. I only know of the three, but they were good. The second one was done in 2000, and they do a much better job of just focusing on John Wayne Gacy and his crimes and sort of looking at him as a person. And they portray him as, I believe he was, from everything I've heard and all the interviews and that, a whiny, try-hard, wannabe, trying to be something he's not sort of character who, I mean, he was evil for what he did, sure, but he was a bit of a joke. And that's the way they portray him in this. And it's good because they give him too much power in some of the other documentaries and that, where they act like he's sort of more than he is. And this film really just focuses on his killing, and ends with him basically being, arrested. And it avoids pretty much everything that was in the To Catch a Killer miniseries. They don't deal with the police side of it at all. And I think the film is better for it. Now the second film is sort of more interesting. It's called Dear Mr. Gacy. And I remember at the time hearing about this. This boy was writing to John Wayne Gacy because he was caught in 1978. He was put on trial and found guilty in 1980. And then he was on death row for about 15 years until 1995, I think. It's interesting. I saw this guy being interviewed. He wrote a book about it. He was studying psychology, and he wanted to use John Wayne Gacy in his assignment for the year or whatever. And he got very close to him, and it was very disturbing for him. And in the film, you see him go through a lot of weirdness where he's sort of getting sucked into this world of John Wayne Gacy and sort of confronting his dark side and what he's interested in doing or capable of doing and so forth. And it's interesting. And the sad thing was to find out that he actually committed suicide in 2006. So all this happened around 2004, 2005. 1994, 95. And then he did the book. And yeah, he killed himself. And I didn't realise he killed himself. Even though I saw this film, I saw it on Blu-ray a little while ago. But I must have missed that card which had that information because I didn't realise he committed suicide. But so you see John Wayne Gacy trying to corrupt him and get him to look at things, and just the most disturbing things. Like he tries to talk him into abusing his younger brother and stuff like this, and he does end up hiring a prostitute and assaulting her and things like this. And he eventually actually goes to meet John Wayne Gacy. He tries to stop talking to him for a minute, but then he gets sucked back in. Then John Wayne Gacy threatens him and basically says, I have people on the outside, I can get to you. So, you can't ignore me, because he had stopped answering his calls and stuff. And it's disturbing because he seems to be running the show. The police just leave this kid in this interview room, basically, with Gacy, when he was told he'd be in a separate room with glass between them and everything, but they put him in the room with him where he can basically assault him and threaten him, and that's exactly what he does. But he does reveal to John that he was just using him as an experiment as like a case study for his course, and he didn't see that coming. So it was interesting. He gets a letter from him after he's been killed, and he basically says that you got me. I didn't see, that you were working me, and that just shows that you are more like me than you think. It's quite chilling, and it's a very interesting story, and it's just really sad to know that he committed suicide. And I don't know if that was because of John Wayne Gacy and his association and how much that messed him up, or it could have been something totally unrelated. Could have been totally coincidental. But it's nearly 5 minutes. I should stop talking. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. It's fascinating to see these different versions and the way people see these characters and the way they're presented and so forth. I think the best one really was the middle one, which doesn't have a star. I think it was direct-to-video, wasn't a big film or anything, but they focus on really just his killings and his psychology at the time, and it's interesting, it's fascinating. But yeah, I'm gonna go.